Viktor Yanukovych's press service says that the president is still at the reins, even though he's on sick leave. But opposition politicians have been accusing him of trying to shirk his responsibilities and escape the situation, and in particular of perhaps using his sick leave as an excuse not to sign into law the repeal of the controversial anti-protest legislation that was passed on the 16th of January and repealed by Parliament on Tuesday. Lesia Orobets, who's an MP with the opposition Batkivshina party, told us that the president had actually explicitly threatened not to sign that law. Meanwhile, accusations are flying in both directions, with the president accusing opposition politicians of jostling for positions in power and manipulating protesters in order to do that. He said that in a message to the Ukrainian people on his website, but there were no concrete revelations really in that message. Meanwhile, opposition politicians are using the word hostages to describe the way that the regime seems to be treating the people who've been arrested in the course of these protests, because the amnesty law that was passed last night in Parliament on Wednesday was the law proposed by the Party of Regions, and it's a law that only allows for these prisoners to be released if the public buildings that have been occupied by protesters in Kiev are vacated within 15 days. To the protesters, that's completely unacceptable, because it would basically mean the end of their movement, and they're absolutely not prepared to give the regime the benefit of the doubt and vacate the buildings before the prisoners have been released. So basically there has been no progress in terms of the search for a compromise between the opposition and the ruling party, though Lesia Orobets did tell us that it would be possible that if there was constitutional reform and a change in government, that it might be possible to continue with Viktor Yanukovych still in power as president on the route towards elections in 2015 if there was constitutional reform to guarantee that those elections would be free and fair. But it seems at the moment we're very far from making any progress even towards that kind of a compromise.